Hello. Hello in TV land. Hello everyone, this is Phil. Ben oui, si c'est Phil. Ben oui. Hein. The one and COVID-free Phil. Huh? Of course, I did my test and I'm way okay. I survived. So I hope everyone's doing great. J'espère que tout le monde va bien. J'espère que vous avez passé une belle semaine. I hope you've had a great week. This week, we are not talking about Andor. We're going to talk about Andor next week. So, no spoilers for this week. Donc, on ne parlera pas d'Andor aujourd'hui. On va parler d'Andor la semaine prochaine. On va faire l'épisode 5 et 6. Donc, comme je l'ai dit, cette semaine, ben, comme vous avez pu voir, cette semaine, nous allons parler des anciens sitcoms. This week, we're going to talk about the vintage sitcoms that we used to watch when we were kids. Donc, je vais essayer de faire le tour de ce que, du moins, moi, j'ai grandi avec. Je vous invite à rajouter des titres que je penserais peut-être pas. Donc, I'm going to invite you guys to give me some titles that I might forgot. I forget, and to make sure that it's actually accurate, that I don't miss big, huge hits that used to play on TV. Let me just get into my stream. Salut François, hey Greg Marshall. Christian Denis, ça va bien, man? Donc, là, je vois vos commentaires sur Yoda's Workshop. Évidemment, on est aussi live sur YouTube et on est live aussi sur ma page Facebook personnelle. Donc, ne soyez pas surpris s'il y a des commentaires que je ne réponds pas, c'est parce que je ne peux pas tout voir en même temps les trois sites où est-ce que c'est diffusé. Donc, je vais faire de mon mieux pour essayer de ne pas en manquer. Comme d'habitude, je suis sur StreamYard. Fait que c'est ça, on va aller directement sur les commentaires. Voilà, OK. Donc, cette semaine, ce que je vais faire avec vous, what I'm going to do, I've got a list here of the like 100 best sitcom that ever played on TV. Um, I'm not going to go through the ones that were made in Quebec or the local ones. Je vais pas faire les sitcoms de l'époque comme Peau de banane, là, ces affaires du Québec, parce qu'on s'entend je pense pas qu'ils ont fait du Peau de banane en bien, bien des langues, là. Banana peel, là, Sainte-Beuve. C'est ça qu'il disait? Sainte-Beuve? En tout cas, peu importe. Fait que je vais essayer, moi, du moins, moi, j'écoutais. I'm gonna tell you guys what I was listening back in the days and what I really enjoyed. And what is really cool nowadays is that you're able to watch them again with completely different eye. Donc, ce qui est vraiment c'est que maintenant, aujourd'hui, on peut les écouter avec un œil complètement différent parce qu'on est rendu dans la quarantaine et plus pour certains. Et now we see it different way differently. And when we were watching it back in the days, we were like 10 or even less than 10, which was probably not legal, at least not in Texas. This week, Burp is brought to you by Sprite Zero Sugar. Same old taste, same old cancer. Bon, OK. Fait que je vais passer, moi, du moins, ce que je me rappelle et ce qui m'avait vraiment fait triper. Il faut prendre en considération que dans ce temps-là, il n'y avait pas 128 postes à la TV. You have to I don't know how it was, in the US or elsewhere, but over here in Quebec, back in the days, in the late '70s and '80s, we would have, like, 4 channel if you would not have cable, and cable was pretty expensive, and I know that a lot of my friends and even at my house, we did not have cable. So sorry. Hey, hey, c'est Sylvie, comment ça va? Regarde, on a presque pareil. Mais moi, il est juste plus long, puis comme, poussé par en arrière. Mais bon, c'est une autre histoire. OK. Fait que, uh, so what I was saying is back in the days, we would have like 4 channel if you would not have, cable back in the days, over here, at least in Quebec. So we would have like Radio-Canada, which is the national, well, CBC in French and in English. We would have like Télémétropole, which was, which is TVA. Now it's funny because TVA is the same thing that they used for, in Loki. Well, it was called Télémétropole. And we would have, channel 3, which was, Burlington, Vermont, and Radio-Québec, uh, which was like our provincial TV, whatever, and that's about it, man. So, when you had cable, then you would get, I don't know, like 15 or 20 more channels, whatever. So, the reason why I'm saying this is that as a kid, I was not able to easily get every great sitcom that we used to play. Fait qu'à l'époque, on n'était pas nécessairement très chanceux si on n'avait pas le câble, au Québec. On était comme pognés pour les sitcoms qui étaient traduits bien souvent à Télémétropole. Y avait-tu vraiment des sitcoms à Radio-Canada? Pas vraiment. So, I'm gonna throw a list out there of things that I used to watch as of the ones that I remember. And as I said, I have a list on my computer right here, and I'm gonna say some of them that I knew or that I did not watch or that I really enjoyed or whatever. Fait que, j'ai une liste d'une centaine ici, on va passer à travers, mais je ne vais pas toutes vous les nommer, là, je vais vous nommer juste ce que moi je connaissais puis ce que j'ai écouté. Donc, tout de suite en partant, je vais clairer les plus gros hits que moi j'ai vraiment capoté. First, I'm gonna go right through the ones that I really, really enjoyed. So, and I know that a lot of people, even in the US, you really enjoy these sitcoms. I'm calling them sitcoms, but they were not necessarily sitcoms. I don't know. I would have to watch the real definition of sitcom. Faudrait vraiment que je regarde c'est quoi la définition de sitcom pour voir qu'est-ce qui rentre dedans, mais qu'est-ce qui rentre pas non plus. OK, first up. Premier que, je veux dire, je vais tout de suite sauter dessus, c'est Dukes of Hazzard. Dukes of Hazzard, j'ai capoté là-dessus. Oublie ça, le char qui saute, j'ai eu les bonhommes. Dukes of Hazzard, one of my favorites, but it was not one of the first that I've watched. Uh, and over here in French, it was called Shérif, fais-moi peur. So it would translate as, Sheriff, scare me. So, Shérif, fais-moi peur. The Dukes of Hazzard, really enjoyed that show. But I think the first one that I really, really enjoyed as a kid, and I've already talked about it, was Chips. The police guys, Eric Estrada, Poncherello, and John, and I don't know why. I don't know why, because I never really wanted to be a cop. My brother wanted to be a cop, and he became a cop. Et mon frère tripait sur la police, puis il voulait toujours jouer à la police, puis moi, j'étais le méchant. Il fallait que je me fasse arrêter. Euh, So I really enjoyed Chip. I had the toys also. I was every week watching Chips. And the thing is, back in the days, it would not really matter if you would miss an episode because the storyline was not as perfect as you missed an episode, you don't understand what's going on. So, and tu pouvais manquer des épisodes, puis ça te dérangeait pas dans le temps parce que, tu sais, le storyline, on s'en sacrait, là. Tu manquais 2 semaines, puis les mêmes personnages étaient là, puis l'histoire était comme centrée sur, les personnages qui interagissaient ensemble. C'était pas 24, mettons, là, tu sais, 24, you would miss an hour and you would understand shit, so, it was not the 24 era. Uh, so, Chips, Dukes of Hazzard, I really enjoyed The Love Boat. I don't know if it was because of the song, and I knew that every week they would have a celebrity, that would come up on the boat, and I knew that Sylvester Stallone was there, and back in the days, I was a big Rocky fan, and then Rambo and stuff, so I remember that every time I would see, uh, The Love Boat on TV, I would watch the beginning with the song "Love, Exciting and New." In French, it would be called "La croisière s'amuse." Tu sais, je sais pas là, they would have called "La croisière s'amuse" is like, cruise is having fun, and I'm not talking about Tom here. So, yeah. So, La croisière s'amuse, I would watch the beginning because I love the song. And, I would watch who was the guy that would show up or the girl that would show up to celebrity, and if I didn't know the person, I would skip the complete show. I was like, "Okay, that's it." Anyway, I think my favorite character on that show was the barman. The I think he was the only black guy, and I love this guy. I don't know why it was funny, but I really enjoyed this guy. Anyway, so that's for the Love Boat. Of course, I was watching, uh, a lot of Gilligan's Island. In French, it would be called Les Joyeux Naufragés. The happy, how do you say it, the naufragé in French? How do you say naufragé in English? Les Joyeux Naufragés. Anyway, people that end up on the island. So, the happy people on the island. So that was, back in the days. I really enjoyed Gilligan. I loved the chemistry between him and, the captain, and I really enjoyed the song, because compared to most of the other sitcom, they did a French version of, Gilligan's Island. Les Arpents Verts, yes! Mais j'ai pas écouté ça, Les Arpents Verts, je sais c'est quoi, mais je l'ai pas écouté, man. C'est, j'ai pas écouté ça, Les Arpents Verts, je sais pas, ça jouait peut-être, pas, dans les je pouvais rester debout, je sais pas. Moi, les beaux dimanches, là, ah ouais, va te coucher, là. Même avant les beaux dimanches, j'allais regarder juste si c'était Star Wars, les beaux dimanches, après ça, je sacrais mon camp dans le lit. Mais bon, je m'endormais pas tout de suite, c'est l'histoire de ma vie. Heu, so Gilligan's, Island, okay, what I'm gonna go through those are the oh, no, there's a big one that I used to watch too. Uh, Three's Company. I mean, Three's Company, wonderful show. I don't know why I love Mr. Roper, the guy that lives next door with the binoculars there. I really enjoyed this. J'ai vraiment trippé sur, Vivre à Trois. Three's Company is it was called Vivre à Trois, and it's basically a very good, translation. C'est comme, living, uh, 3. Eh, so, I really enjoyed that. So, and I really fell in love with the actor Jack, what was his name? Uh, blanc de mémoire. Roper, no, he died so tragically, John Ritter. Okay, John Ritter. So I really enjoyed that actor. I thought it was over the top, and I think that I've really enjoyed that. The fact that he was, like, really, really over the top, and for me as a kid, even if I would not understand most of the jokes on, 'cause it was there were a lot of sexual jokes there with, Susan Summers, and but John Ritter was an amazing actor, and I remember he did a movie, where he was like a superhero, and I don't know how many time I watched that because I don't know, you just like the guy. C'est comme quelque chose de particulier avec cet acteur-là. Je veux pas le comparer pantoute avec Robin Williams, mais il y a certains acteurs que tu regardes, tu es comme: «OK, tu accroches avec eux autres», tu sais? Puis John Ritter, je pense que c'en était un de la gang. John Ritter also did the, uh like not Dennis the Menace, but the dude that would, screw up everything. Um, "It's my party and I cry if I want to." There was, like he would show up at this little girl, party, and it was I don't remember the title of the movie. Anyway, so not Different Stroke, I wanna talk about. So, of course, Um, Three's Company, j'ai capoté sur Three's Company. Different Strokes, I really, really enjoyed Different Strokes. Uh, the chemistry with the old guy, I don't remember his name, with the kids, I thought was amazing. Uh, and of course, Webster? What was his name? I don't remember his name, the actor's name, but love the actor. Like, "What are you talking about?" Faces he would do, like, he it felt like he was an adult stuck in a kid's body. So, anyway, I really enjoyed Different Strokes. I don't remember what it was called in French. Je me rappelle pas comment que ça s'appelait, Different Strokes en français. But anyway, peu importe. I forgot the translation of that, show. So, I also was watching Family Ties with Michael J. Fox, and of course, I probably didn't watch Family Tie as much as I did after Back to the Future came to, the movies because I fell in love with Michael J. Fox. Um, and there were great actors there, Justine Bateman and, the guy that did the Trimmers there, the father, I once again, I forgot their names. Usually I'm good, but sometimes but he was a great actor. He did the Trimmers movies with Kevin Bacon. Was it Kevin Bacon? I think. I anyway, so, Family Ties was an amazing show also. Uh, let me think just up my head just like that without going to look at one of the Cheers. I love to watch Cheers. Cheers was a show that I really enjoyed. I've watched a little Taxi, but I was very young, and I was lucky enough to see that it was Doc that was playing in Taxi, and I've also really liked Danny DeVito, and there was Tony Danza in this show, and I was in love with Who's the Boss because of Alyssa Milano, like most of the kids. It's funny because I'm watching right now, Young Sheldon. Présentement, je suis en train d'écouter Young Sheldon. What is Young Sheldon? C'est quoi Young Sheldon? If you guys watch, The Big Bang Theory, I mean, Big Bang Theory, one of the I really enjoyed that show. And what they created, what Jim Parsons did with Sheldon, the characters, and it's amazing, and it was a very good idea to show us the story of young Sheldon, and I'm finishing season 2. Anyway, why I'm saying this is because in young Sheldon, his brother, uh, Georgie is in love with, Alyssa Milano and Tony Danza and Who's the Boss. So I really enjoyed Who's the Boss back in the days, and it was also, in available in French. Uh, what was the name in French? It was like Madame a parlé or Madame, the lady has spoken or something like that. Very bad translation for Who's the Boss. So I really enjoyed Who's the Boss. I really enjoyed Taxi because I recognized most of the actors that were there. Uh, I've watched a little bit of MASH. MASH was pretty good, but since it was, uh, I didn't felt any connection with, I don't know, most of the characters, and the fact that it was during the war and stuff, I was probably too young. I did not hook to the of course, there was Star Trek, but I was not a Star Trek fan, so, one of my friends, another Phil was also, enjoying S Star Trek, but I don't know, I've never clicked, and I've already talked about this. Uh, for me, Star Trek felt like it was shot in the studio, and it was like the the sets would shake when someone would close the door. We had that problem over here in Quebec, with the sitcoms that we would produce. We would film this, in very cheap studios in Radio Canada, and someone would, like, just put his knee, not his knee, but his elbow, on the counter, and the whole wall would, like, shake like this, or someone would close the door and every wall shake because, like, very cheap. So, again, that's something, like, it for me, even as a kid, didn't feel real, so it's like, "Ah, I know it's not real," so I had problem, like, letting myself into this. Fait que j'avais de la misère avec le fait que c'était comme vraiment cheap les studios. Même principe un peu avec Star Trek, j'avais l'impression des fois que c'était comme ça avait pas l'air vrai. Puis le fait que Star Wars avait l'air tellement vrai, tu croyais que le Faucon Millenium était tout crotté, puis tu croyais que le X-wing il était tout sale, puis tu sais, it was not the same thing at all. Okay, so Star Trek was not a big fan at all. Um, I've watched a few shows, I did. It was not something that, really, like, did not fell in love at all with this. Let me go check the list because I'm sure I forget a lot of shows that I've watched. So, I'm not gonna name them all, but I'm gonna tell you guys the ones that I remember that I watched, but I did not necessarily enjoy. There were Murphy Brown. I don't know why I did not like Murphy Brown. Uh, Cheers, I talked about Cheers, Three's Company. I know that there are great show that were available back in the days, but I don't know why it did not stuck with me. Like, WKRP in Cincinnati, I know I did not even watch 1 episode, so one of my favorite one, and it's funny because it felt more like an adult, show, but I really, really enjoyed it, is, Night Court. Uh, I really enjoyed Night Court, and I've got no interest in the court world. I really enjoyed the characters in this. The guy with no hair, what was his name? Let me go check. John Larroquette was amazing. Um, so and I think it's probably there that I've learned about John Larroquette because, I saw him afterwards in a few movies, and I've watched these movies just because he was there, because I thought he was a great actor. Donc, ouais, Night Court, je pense que ça jouait peut-être en français, Night Court, mais je pourrais pas dire comment est-ce que ça s'appelait. Let me see. Golden Girls, of course, I've watched a few Golden Girls, but, les dames d'or, je sais pas comment ils les appelaient là, les femmes en or. Ah, des femmes en or, yeah. The Lady of Gold, like Golden Girls. Uh Of course, there are amazing actress in these 4, Betty White, of course, I would not say would steal the show. I thought that the oldest one would always steal the show. Uh, so Golden Girls, I've watched a few of these. Let me check. Night Court, man. Jim, you're totally right. Richard Mole. Yes, the guy with no hair. I think that's the one you're talking about. Cheers. Cheers, an amazing show. I really, really enjoy, and is it me or Cheers, would used to have, what's his name? Woody Harrelson. Did Woody Harrelson started in, Ted Danza? Funny thing, Ted Danza is now the stepfather of Lily Collins. World is crazy, man. Um, Woody Harrelson would play, in, Cheers. He was very young. Let me check the other one. Different Strokes, I've talked about it. Family Ties, The Boss. Happy Days. Happy Days was something that I never really got into it. I've watched a few shows, but I don't know why. I did not hooked on it. J'ai jamais vraiment trippé sur, uh, Coach died, Woody came on. Oh, you see, I didn't remember that. Married with Children. Yes, Married with Children. I watched a few of them. I did not watch all of them, but ouais, j'ai écouté ça. Married with Children was pretty good. What else do we have? I never watch the Brady Bunch, but it was before I was born, 1969 to 1974. We were talking about, Gilligan's Island. Something I watched a lot was, Jenny, what was um, with Larry Hagman, uh, yeah, Dream of Jenny? Genie? I don't remember, in French what was the name, but I that's what I've watched a lot. La Sorcière Bien-Aimée, uh, Bewitched, meh, never really enjoyed that show. Uh, The Addams Family, well, I was too young. Mr. Head, I did not watch because, I was too young then. Uh, See the Green Acres, we were talking about Les Enfants Verts earlier on. It played between 1965 to 1971, so I don't remember watching that show as a kid. Oh, of course, one show that I really enjoyed, un qui m'a vraiment fait triper, c'est L'Homme de 6 millions, The $6 Million Man, and it's gonna bring me up to talk about something now that I think it's really amazing. I really have great memories or well, great yeah, I got great memories about watching The $6 Million Man and watching, uh, Bionic Woman. I really enjoyed these shows. And nowadays, you're able to get, like, channels or you can get all the episodes just by clicking on the internet. And I've been doing this for a while now. I've watched a few episodes of Chips, and it was okay. It was like, "Yeah, okay, I understand. Okay, it's really, like, cheesy, but it was interesting." I was happy to watch it again, but I tried to understand why I loved that show so much, and, it was probably the fact that it was being motorcycles and it was cops, like I said, my brother's a cop, been a cop a long time, but all his life he wanted to be a cop. Chips was one of his favorite shows also. Uh, then I've watched The $6 Million Man. Oh my god. So, I'm gonna give you a homework this week. If you're able to do it, find the first episode of The $6 Million Man and watch it. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible, man. Je vais vous donner ce challenge-là. Essayez de réécouter l'épisode 1 de $6 Million Man, de l'homme bionique. C'est pitoyable, c'est épouvantable. Il y a des bons bouts, they're great shots, but just to give you an idea, they are using the same shot of this doctor, like, standing like this, like, at least 5 to 8 times. It's the same shot, but the doctor is supposed to be somewhere else. It's like, "Mr. Austin, everything will be fine." And the shot is very long, and then, "Mr. Austin, would you get me a beer?" It's the same shot, it's the same background. It's like instead of shooting the guy in a different room, they're using the same shot, so it's terrible, man. Uh, some of the technology was pretty, well, the special effects were pretty good, but so many shots that they're saying, "Well, that's the same shot we saw like 20 minutes ago," and it's so slow. The first episode is not 20 minutes. Le premier épisode de L'Homme de 6 millions, c'est pas comme 20 minutes, c'est pas comme 1 heure et demie, puis ça finit plus, esti, c'est long, esti, gars. J'avais l'impression d'écouter le Star Wars, holiday specials, go, "Is it going to end?" Mais ouais, allez écouter ça, allez écouter le premier épisode de L'Homme de 6 millions. Go watch the first episode of $6 Million Man, you're gonna laugh your ass out. Is that possible? Laugh your ass out? I don't know. Tu vas rire ton cul en dehors. Moonlight, yes, Moonlighting with, Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. That was a great, great show. I really enjoyed it, and it's, first of all, Sybil Shepherd, great actress, loved her, but of course, for me, that's my opinion, Bruce Willis told the show he stole the show every time. I mean, this is where he was found. This is where, that gave him the, Die Hard, movies. Love Bruce Willis for this. Anyway, you're totally right, Jim. It was a great show. Okay, let me get back to, the other ones. I'm gonna go through the list very quickly. Of course, there's a few I'm not gonna say like, the Dick Van Dyke Show, the, Andy Griffith Show, the I Love Lucy. I was too young. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about the ones that I was old enough to watch or that I've tried to watch or I enjoyed. One that I did not watch, and I have to start to watch them, it's Seinfeld. Well, I know, "What? You did not watch Seinfeld?" I did not watch. Why? I don't know, because, the character of Michael Richard, I love him. So, I really have to watch, uh, I have to give it a shot. So, yes, I know I did not watch Seinfeld, and I know it's like saying, "You did not see Star Wars?" Some say that Seinfeld is the best comedy, sitcom ever made, so I have to watch it one day. I totally have to. Okay, next, Mad About You. This is something that I enjoyed, to watch. I really loved Ellen Hunt, great actress, and of course, Paul Reiser, Ray, you know who I'm talking about. He plays in, uh, next, which one? I did not watch the Drew Carey Show. I did not watch Just Shoot Me. One that I really enjoy is Roseanne, and forget about the fact that, she's, a bit weird. I love the dynamic of the family. J'ai vraiment, vraiment trippé sur Roseanne à cause de la dynamique dans la famille. Toutes les personnages sont extrêmement bien travaillés. Every characters in Roseanne are really well presented. You fall in love with every one of them, and it's funny because, Sheldon Cooper's mom plays in the show, and of course, John Goodman. I mean, John Goodman is, for me, one of the greatest actors for the last, I would say, 25 years and more. Of course, he plays in Big Lebowski, he plays in Roseanne, he plays in so many great movies, and it's the kind of actor John Goodman, c'est le genre d'acteur que if he plays in a movie, even if it's for 5 minutes, I'm gonna watch the movie because I wanna see him. Heu, c'est le genre d'acteur que même s'il joue 5 minutes dans un film, je vais regarder le film au complet parce que je veux voir sa performance. J'ai toujours trippé sur John Goodman. Heu, there's probably, some bad performance from him, but I don't know. I've not seen any that I was like, "What the hell?" If you wanna see a great performances from him, si vous voulez voir vraiment une super bonne performance de John Goodman, bon, il y a Big Lebowski, of course, mais il joue dans un film avec, le gars, il joue aux cartes, là, tu sais, il joue dans, Boogie Nights, Wahlberg. There's a movie that he plays with Wahlberg, and he's like a kingpin, and he's in this sauna. There's a shot of him. He's, like, so fat, bald. He's not in the movie very long, but that shot is amazing. Anyway, je me rappelle plus comment ça s'appelle. Uh, okay, up next, I Spy. Dragnet, I did not watch Dragnet. I saw the movie that they made with Tom Hanks, and Dan Aykroyd, which I enjoyed. Friends, that's another one that I did not watch. I did not watch Friends. You're like, "What? You did not watch Friends and you did not watch, um, Seinfeld?" No, I don't know. I tried to watch Friends, and it's something that I don't know, for me, it was like it was not that funny. So, after Friends, we could say that the things that the thing that they did that was as close as this was Big Bang Theory, and I've enjoyed Big Bang Theory. Fait que vraiment, je restais Friends. Faut que je me I have to watch Friends one day. I really have to. There's like 10 seasons. Okay. 2.5 Men, I did enjoy, but we're not 2.5 Men is not really vintage, but the first 2, 3 seasons were pretty good. Uh, Afterwards, yeah. The one that I really, really, really need to watch because, I mean, it's Robin Williams, it's Mork and Mindy. I did not see Mork yet, and I'm a huge Robin Williams fan. His death is still not haunting me, but I'm still sad about the fact that he's gone, and Mork and Mindy is something that I really have to watch, uh, and I know that it was, like, the crazy years of, Robin was taking a lot of drugs and stuff, but I have to watch it. Faut vraiment que j'écoute Mork and Mindy, and Mork and Mindy was never available in French over here. Je pense pas que ça a jamais été disponible en français au Québec, Mork and Mindy. Peut-être, mais là, moi, j'ai rien vu de ça. So I don't remember seeing Mork and Mindy in French. So that might be the reason why I didn't watch it. Friends is okay, but highly overrated and lots didn't age well. Well, see, that's I don't know. Perhaps Garen, you're totally right, man. Some of these shows, they like I said earlier, $6 Million Man. Oh man, it was. I watched episode one and was like, "What the hell am I watching? How come I enjoyed this show back in the day?" One that I forgot to talk about is Knight Rider, of course. Knight Rider enjoyed this show, and I'm gonna tell something up, and this is the reason why I'm doing this today, talking about the sitcoms, is because I've watched not last night or the night before. I got a channel that is 24/7 Knight Rider nonstop, no commercials. It's amazing. Got the same thing for Hulk and whatever, tons of sitcom. One of the great show that I've enjoyed, and I watched it in French, is The Incredible Hulk with, uh, Bill Bixby. Yeah, I love that act. Anyway, so back to, Knight Rider. I was watching Knight Rider few nights ago, and, I was not surprised, but I said to myself, "This would never go on the air nowadays." Let me tell you the story very quickly. Like, Michael Knight is, helping, truckers to, help, for, getting contracts and stuff, whatever. And the reason why he's doing it is because, one of the owner, is a little girl, 15-year-old girl, donc, Michael Knight est en train d'aider plein de truckers, là, puis là-dedans, il y a une famille qui a comme une compagnie. Il y a une petite fille là-dedans qui a comme 15 ans, tu sais? And, I know that the actress is not 15, but it doesn't matter. They say that she's 15 in this show. And at the end of the show, of course, Michael Knight helps them, and Kit is doing his auto activate, turbo boost, and stuff or whatever. So, at the end, the 15 year 15-year-old girl shows up to Michael Knight. Texas Rangers. Yes, Texas Rangers was good, man. Um, so this 15-year-old girl shows up to Michael Knight and she says, "Come closer," and he kisses him on the mouth with love and passion and like, "Oh, it's so hot." And the girl runs away, and Michael Knight jumps into, Kit, and Kit says, "Oh, it's very sad that we won't see her anymore." And Michael Knight says, "Oh, yeah, if she would be 10 years older and 2 feet taller, she would be okay. I would take her." I was like, is Weinstein sitting next to Michael Knight in this show? I was like, "Oh my god, this is bad." So I don't think they would do this anymore. Like, would you see, I don't know, Daredevil starting kissing a 15-year-old on Disney Plus? I don't think so. Well, She-Hulk twerks, so I don't know what anyway. Okay, one of my favorite show of all time, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, yeah, but he's a fucking crazy fucker." It's The Cosby Show. You can say whatever you want on Bill Cosby. Uh, I'm not gonna say that I don't care what he did, but what he did, which is really bad, and what is performance and career as a comic guy and comic stand-up and an actor is, for me, it's 2 different things. And Bill Cosby, love the actor, love the stand-up guy, and of course, love The Cosby Show. And I know he's a really, naughty guy, did some very I totally agree, and I'm not saying it's right, but for me, Cosby Show, amazing show. So many great actors that came out of there. I mean, I it's another great example of the chemistry between all the actors that just goes perfect. Uh, we saw the same well, I'm not gonna say it's the same thing, but another show that I really enjoyed was Full House. And I was lucky enough to meet, what's her name? Cameron. Long story short, she's still married to Valerie Bury. And, back in the day, she was going out with him, and, Valerie Burer was, playing for the Montreal Canadiens, and I was working for the Montreal Canadiens. And, she was often, at the Forum or, I met her, at the, golf tournament of the Montreal Canadiens. And I was lucky enough to go and talk to her, and I told her, I still remember the first time that I talked to her, I said, "I know you don't know me. I don't wanna bother you." It was at golf tournament, and it was the supper at the big food thing at the end of the night, and I went to her and said, "I just wanna say thank you for what you did on, Full House. Amazing show. I've watched every one of them. Thank you." And I left, and she was like, "Oh, wow, thank you very much. I really appreciate it," and we talked we talked about other stuff. It was I was lucky enough to meet that girl. Anyway, Full House, great show. Perfect Strangers. I've watched a few episode of Perfect Strangers. Yes, Candace. Candace. You, Jim. Your brain. Uh, so Perfect Strangers, I've loved the chemistry between the 2 guys, but it's not something that I've watched frequently, but I've enjoyed that show also. Uh, what else? Love Boat, I've talked about Love Boat early on. I'm going through the list, very quickly. Desperate Housewife, I know it's not really vintage, but I did not enjoy that show at all. I've watched a few episodes. One show that I really need to watch, it's Third Rock, and the reason why, just because of John Lithgow. John Lithgow, love the actor. I've First time I saw John Lithgow was with, uh, what was the name with the Bigfoot? Ari and the Adam, Ari and the Family, what was I don't remember the movie, but, I loved him in that movie with the Bigfoot there, and, when I saw Third Rock, I said, "Okay, this show is worth watching just because of John Lithgow, so I'm gonna watch eventually Third Rock, that's for sure." Will and Grace, I've enjoyed a few episode, yeah, Harry and the Anderson, thank you very much. Jim, you're very good, and not only Jim, Perfect Stranger, is seen, one episode, I've seen them all, it get old. Yeah, probably, that's probably the reason why I did not watch many of them. Uh, Let me go check the comments to Aaron here said, "Thank you, Garen, you're totally right." Uh, okay, let me get back to this. I'm clicking because I'm going from Facebook to StreamYard to YouTube to okay, uh, what's next? I was talking about what? Okay, Will and Grace. I've loved Will and Grace. Will and Grace was pretty good. Once again, it's a show that the chemistry between the actors are is amazing. Will and Grace, je sais même pas comment il appelle ça. C'est vraiment Will et Grace. La Grace de Will. Uh, love the chemistry between the oh, one that I've really enjoyed that I'm forgetting is Miami Vice. I've loved Miami Vice. Again, is it because it's like a cop show or is it because it reminded me of Lethal Weapon, or was it in the same time, or didn't didn't Miami Vice came after, Lethal Weapon? Because Lethal Weapon is one of my favorite character movie. The chemistry between Mel Gibson and, Danny Glover is amazing. Okay, another show that I not really understood. The comedy, the humor was not something that was coming to get me, was Home Improvement, and I love Tim Allen. There's great actors in there, and I know that the chemistry between the 2 guys, is great, but I don't know, that's something that I did not love, and for quelqu'un qui a fait du bricolage dans mon sous-sol, là, il me semble que j'aurais capoté sur, Home Improvement. I did a stupid show on the internet since 1992, it's called, Je bricole dans mon sous-sol. You can go check it out on YouTube. Uh, it's in French, but anyway, I created, like, this character that's called Greg Tompolsky, and he tries to fix stuff, of course, he's like an idiot. Anyway, so Home Improvement, not really enjoyed that show. Webster, I've watched a few episodes, but it was for me, it was like a ripoff of, Different Strokes. So I've enjoyed a lot more Different Strokes than, sorry, Webster. I did not see Everybody Loves Raymond, and perhaps I should give it a try, but, one that I really enjoyed, the 1st season is Scrubs with the, great actors in this show. I've watched 70 Show, that 70 Show, not a huge fan, but I thought it was pretty good. I did not enjoy Frasier. This is not necessarily a show that I've watched for, Nash Bridges. Miami Vice began in 1984, and 90 so you see, I thought that it was because I enjoyed Lethal Weapon, but you're totally right. Lethal Weapon is in 1987. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that I enjoyed. I've watched a lot of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think it was available in French back in the day. Like I said, the reason why I'm saying it's available in French is, like I said at the beginning of this, podcast, is that over here in Quebec, if you would not have cable, you would not get most of the, US channels. So you would I would we would only get, um, channel 3, which was, Burlington, Vermont, and, we did not have cable for a very long time at my house, so, there's a lot of shows that I was not able to watch, or I would go to my friend that had cable and said, "Oh, I've got to show you this show," and was showing this show, like, wow, I never saw that. So, back in the '70s, beginning of the '80s, it was really hard to get all the TV shows that were playing over there. So, we were lucky enough if they were to be translated, in French, uh, and it would play in French at our, local, channels. Okay, let's move on. Oh, The Flying Nun. The Flying Nun was in French, La Sœur Volante, so the perfect translation, and I love The Flying Nun. I really enjoyed The Flying Nun, but of course, since it played from 1967 to 1970, I was not even born, but it would play, reruns, in French, and I don't know why I love that show. Is it because as a kid, I thought Sally Field was amazing? Maybe. COVID is gone, but I'm still coughing. Okay. Uh, Silver Spoons, I've watched. I saw a few episodes, but not that much. Growing Pains, did not really watch that show. I knew it was there. It was available for me, but I don't know. I There's something that I did not like. Said, "Oh, this great show." Okay, what's next? I'm going through, other now I'm seeing a lot of more recent shows like, Spin City, and Spin City played between 1996 and 2002, and I did not I've tried to watch a few episodes, but for me, it was really hard. It's the same thing as watching David Duchovny playing someone else than Mulder. Uh, I know he did some great shows after The X-Files, but for me, David Duchovny is Fox Mulder, so it's hard to forget. It's like same thing probably with, Sheldon, with, Jim Parsons. It's going to be really hard for me to watch Jim play someone else, or being able to put my head into the fact that this is not Sheldon. Oh, The A-Team. Yes. Okay, The A-Team, Magnum PI, love that show, love The A-Team. See, I'm forgetting a lot of shows, so that this is why you're helping me out there. Uh, Magnum PI, it was also available in French. Love this show. I mean, I great show, and of course, The A-Team. I mean, I don't remember the years, where when The A-Team came out, but I don't know if it was before Rocky 3, because I learned about, uh, I think, Mr. T in Rocky 3, and then I think I saw him in The A-Team, and this is the reason why I said to myself, "Oh, man." Clubber Lang, 1983 for The A-Team, 1983. So it's basically around the same time as Rocky 3, because Rocky 3 was in 3. All right, 76 for the first one, 78 for the second one, and I think there was a lot of time between, Rocky 2 and Rocky 3. Not a lot between the first and the second one because it was, like, connected. But anyway, Charlie's Angels. This is a show that I did not watch. I know about the show. I've watched a few episodes, but I did not watch a lot of it. But I love what they did when they did the movies with Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu and Bill Murray. Bill Murray's playing in it, I think, in the second Hawaii Five-0. I've loved Hawaii Five-0. Hawaii 5-0 in French. Just for the music, it's a great show. You're just watching the beginning of the show, it was amazing. Bonanza, yeah, that's an old one. I did not watch that. Oh, one I forgot is, Little House on the Prairie. That's Maison dans la Prairie. Oh, ben oui. Uh, that I've watched a lot of, that's Maison dans la Prairie. Uh, there was a show with, the guy from the Little House on the Prairie, it was like Angel Thing, I don't remember the name. Yes, V with Freddy Krueger. Yeah, I love V, but again, I've watched V, few years ago, and it did not necessarily really age well. The scenario was like, yeah, I would have to watch it again. Okay, what's next? Da, 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 da. The Ellen Show, did not watch. Let me check. Da, 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 da. They're talking about Carling. Uh, oh yeah, Moonlighting. We talked about it earlier. Bennington Steel with Pierce Brosnan. I've watched a few episodes of this, but not that much. We've talked about Taxi early on, and of course, I'm not going into The Simpsons and Family Guys. I know they feel like sitcoms. I mean, they're more like same thing for South Park and stuff. I've totally enjoy, and I even thought about making a full episode just on The Simpsons. I'm a Simpsons freak, and I'm really late in the seasons, but for the first 20 seasons, I've watched them all, and I've known the songs by heart. I'm crazy about that. Transformers, yeah, we can go into G.I. Joes and stuff. Toutes les émissions qui jouaient le samedi matin, all the Saturday morning shows. But I was more talking about the MacGyver, I forgot MacGyver was great. Um, so I'm probably forgetting a lot of great shows that I used to watch, but I think I did a global, a good survol of everything that I used to watch. Je pense que j'ai fait pas mal un bon survol sur de du moins ce que j'écoutais quand j'étais kid. So that's it, guys. Like I said, I probably forgot a lot of them, and now you guys know that I did not watch Friends and I did not watch Seinfeld, and I'm just gonna say this. I think that in the early 2000s, um, we forgot about like ER and stuff, but these are not shows that I really enjoyed. I think I was more attracted to shows that were like about cops, science fiction, uh, not necessarily only cops, but like not necessarily superheroes, but when you would get like this guy that would like $6 million man, a Rambo type of that would play this special eh, character. And of course, what I enjoy, and I really still enjoy this, is when you get a cast that the chemistry is amazing, and I think secret of a long-lasting show like Big Bang Theory, like Friends. Um, Sadly, we have great shows. Battlestar Galactica, yes, the first one, and the second one. I really enjoyed the more recent one that they did with Bo-Katan, that plays, I forgot his name, the character that she plays in not the remake, but the earlier version was played by a guy in the 1970, TV show. There was the dog that I really loved in the, 1970 show. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, and I think that, in the 2000s, something happened that transformed Transformers, Autobots transform, uh, TV shows, and a good example of this, un bon exemple de ça, quand ça a comme été un peu transformé, c'est avec les X-Files. Let me explain. We would get, like I was saying earlier, you would miss a few episodes of a sitcom or a show, and it would not matter because the storyline would not really get fucked up if you would miss one show or 2. And back in the days, if you missed it, you missed it. It would play, like, maybe in a year or more as a rerun, or you would have to tape it on your VHS or it. So, what happened with the X-Files is during 5 the first 5 seasons, you would get, like, a couples of important episodes, and, the more important storyline would get, like, 1 episode every 5 episodes, and in between would be, like, yeah, regular shows. Cully and Mueller would go around, and fight a werewolf or whatever. But when 24 show up, or well, it's just an example, there was something different. It was like you cannot miss an episode, because if you miss one, you're screwed. So the timeline of the TV shows transformed. They changed the pattern, they changed the way that it was presented, and I thought it was a great move. It's way more interesting to watch a TV show, a sitcom or whatever, when every week, there's a story development, and the characters are growing. It's not like every week it's basically the same thing that is happening. So, they did a great job when they changed it, during the 2000s, because before that, if you would watch like a Lucy show or whatever, maybe not the Cosby Show because the kids were growing up, but like I said earlier, it was like a little story, 20-minute story, and that's it, and 20-minute story, and that's it, and it would not necessarily come back to that story in future episodes. So it would not really matter what happened before. But nowadays, you know that if something shows up in, let's say, She-Hulk or whatever, on Disney Plus or on The Mandalorian, any show, it's very important, and they come back to it, uh, later on during the season or in different seasons, or even now, they make links to different shows because it's all in the same universe. Okay, that's another story. So, hey, that's it. I've been talking with you guys for an hour and a half, an hour and a half, a little more than an hour. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have suggestions, again, Please let me know because sometimes I have no idea what I'm going to talk about on the next episode. This is episode 21. And like I said, I won't stop doing this. So if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead, let me know. Si vous avez des suggestions, laissez-moi savoir. Il y a des fois, je sais pas sur quoi je vais faire l'épisode. Hem, des fois, j'ai des flashs, des fois, je sais pas. Je veux refaire un open mic. I wanna make another open mic with you guys, giving you the chance to talk, to bring the subjects and just talk about stuff. So that's it. Like I always say, be safe, be good, be wild, be you. Have a great week. And again, if you have any questions, if you're looking for something, I invite you guys to share this podcast with your friends. Share Yoda's workshop, and that's it. Have fun. Be safe. See you next week. Handor next week, episode 5 and 6. Take care. Bye.